Hi everyone, Sneemaster here with a review of the Aegis Eclipse. The Eclipse is a stealth bomber designed for a single pilot. The Eclipse was designed during the Cold War with the Xi'an to sneak up to targets, fire torpedoes, and exit the area. This applies equally well for combat against the Vandul. The Eclipse is a crew of 1. There are 2 size 1 shield generators, similar to many medium fighters. There are 2 size 1 hydrogen fuel tanks, 1 size 1 jump drive, and 1 size 1 quantum fuel tank. It can travel medium distances with the quantum tank it has, or all the way across Stanton. Anything further will require refueling. Combat speed is 146 meters a second, and max speed is 981 meters a second, which isn't bad, but you won't escape fast ships with it. The wings fold up for landing, as the landing gear is tied to the bottom of the wingtips. This helps the ship fit in smaller hangars or in carriers. Supposedly vertical fins should pop out when flying in the atmosphere, but this does not seem to be implemented yet. For weapons, the Eclipse has 3 size 9 torpedoes on a rotary launcher. They take up most of the body of the ship. They have a very long range of about 30 kilometers, but with the current server issues, it's best to use them at closer range, less than 9 kilometers. Otherwise, they get confused and fly off randomly. That should improve once the server tick rate improves. Locking onto a ship can also take longer than normal missiles do. The Eclipse also has 2 fixed size 2 laser repeaters. You can put gimbal size 1 guns, but it's not going to be a dogfighter regardless what you do. The capacitors on the 2 guns are quite good though. The cockpit is sort of cramped. The windshield gives a limited view. You can't look up or down, just horizontally. The MFDs are placed in great locations though, so I like the way they are set up. The Aegis Eclipse runs for $300 in time-limited sales, or $3.5 million UEC at Lorville. You can't rent the Eclipse yet. There are 2 paints, the main dark gray paint, and then a Best in Show paint from $29.50. That was a limited run only, sort of a white paint. The Eclipse is a medium-sized ship, but made for 1 person. It's not a small ship, which means you have to watch out to make sure you don't hit anything with your wings. It's also not very fast or agile. Fighters will be able to run circles around the Eclipse, so try not to get into dogfights. It's best to either hit targets at long range with your torpedoes or sneak away using the stealth features. Your guns might be useful if you can sneak up to a light target, but otherwise they aren't extremely good in combat. They do have the advantage of having large capacitors, so at least you'll be able to keep firing for a while. But size 2 guns don't do tons of damage. They are fixed guns, so you'll have to aim carefully, or else put gimbals with smaller size 1 guns on it. The size 9 torpedoes do an immense amount of damage. You can often one-hit kill most fighters and medium ships. A second torpedo will take out anything larger aside from the toughest ships like an Idris. Those can take anywhere from 3 to 6 torpedoes. There are different size 9 torpedoes you can buy, which have different seeker heads and do different damage amounts. The only limitation of the Eclipse is that you can't fire all torpedoes at once. They have to load 1 at a time and fire sequentially, plus locking on ships is slow. Another problem is that torpedoes are not very agile, so a wary fighter or small ship could dodge them. It's best to use torpedoes against unaware or slow targets. The Eclipse is a very popular ship for bounty hunters, mercenaries, and military orgs if your targets are large ships. A couple of Eclipses can take out just about any medium to large target at range, as long as the opponents don't shoot down your torpedoes. Pirates can also use them, but they have to be very careful that you don't destroy your target or you might lose your potential loot. Also, it is highly recommended to have some fighter support for your bombers if they will be near any fighters, unless you can make sure you can sneak in and out without being detected. So I've enjoyed flying the Eclipse. It's not great against fighters up close, but if you need a heavy-hitting bomber, then the Eclipse works well. It's amazing against large ships, and watching those torpedoes explode is like a work of art. I've used it in close combat against fighters, and against AI it can work alright against a single fighter or 2. But if you get swarmed or they get behind you, then you will go down quick. Best to just run away if you can, but you won't be able to escape the faster interceptors. I do wonder if we'll be able to get gravity bombs in the future. The Eclipse would be perfect for stealthily ground bombing, and it would be great in Jumptown. Just keep an eye out for the Eclipse during any Aegis ship sale, such as the upcoming IAE show. Alright, so that's it for the Aegis Eclipse review. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my videos. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump into Star Citizen, and you'll get 5,000 extra in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. I have a Patreon going for $3 a month. All patrons will have their names listed at the end of my videos. Okay, catch you all next time.